It's been a while, but I promise I haven't dropped off the face of the earth or anything. I came across this video on YouTube Shorts by Jessica Varnell. She makes a lot of skit videos on how she handles odd requests working in the hospitality business. And one of those videos was about a guest at the hotel she works at who wanted to smell the rooms before checking in just to make sure. Well, I don't actually know what the reason was. Anyway, the skit goes that the guest called the hotel beforehand, and someone who works there told her that she would be able to smell multiple rooms before checking in, and then she was disappointed when she got there and she was only allowed to smell 2 of the rooms. But the thing that I found interesting was that in the comments, someone was talking about how if you have OCD and you're told that you will be able to do one thing on the phone, and then later on, if what happens is not what you were told was going to happen, that can feel really devastating. For a person with OCD, or even for people on the spectrum, that can just be beyond life-shattering. For me, having both OCD and being on the spectrum, I know that if someone doesn't follow through with what they promised me, or even just what they had said that they were gonna do, it feels really uncomfortable in a way that is hard to describe. It kind of feels like someone made an unbreakable vow, but it feels like the consequences would be a lot more catastrophic than just someone dying, which seems like it would be enough already. But with OCD, there's just this feeling that something really awful will happen, like a really big earthquake, or a tornado, or a hurricane, or another pandemic, or if a school bus falls into a sinkhole and is never found again, or if a super volcano explodes and renders the whole human race extinct. Things that are not very likely to happen, but would be really terrible if they did. And it goes both ways, where if I say I'm gonna do something, then I better do it, or otherwise those catastrophic things will also happen. Or at least that's what my mind makes me believe will happen. If I make an agreement with a friend, then we better follow through with that, because it's not about just being polite. It's now a matter of life and death to me.
And with us, an agreement is an agreement.
But it's only if I say things out loud. If I just think things in my head like, oh yeah, I'll do that later, and I don't end up doing that, it doesn't create the same feelings of catastrophe for me. I'm not really sure why that is, but there's something about spoken or written words that just feels so much more binding to me. And if things happen outside of a person's control that prevent them from being able to follow through on their word, then that doesn't really trigger that catastrophic feeling for me either. Like if someone were to say, hey, I can't meet up because there was traffic on this road and the whole thing was shut down. Or if they just weren't feeling good, or the weather was really bad, then that wouldn't really trigger it so much. But when people are like, yeah, I just kind of don't feel like doing that anymore, then I'm all, well, that's too bad, because you made a promise, now you need to follow through on it. Well, I wouldn't actually say that to anyone, but I will nag them about it constantly, because the OCD is constantly nagging me about it. So that was just my quick little spiel about OCD and autism spectrum disorder and making promises and following through on your word. I hope you found this video helpful or useful or relatable, or at least just entertaining. And I will see you in the next one.